Hello, I'm Tag from TagTheShooter Photography, and today I'm going to go over and review a quick review on the teleconverters for the Sony G Master lens. The Sony recently came out with the two Sony teleconverters, one the 1.4 and the other the 2.0 teleconverter. The teleconverters that Sony came out with only work with the 7200 G Master lens. I was hoping that when they came out with these teleconverters that it will be able to be used with other Sony lenses, particularly the 24 to 70 G Master lens, the 85 G Master lens, or even the 24 to 240. Like I said, I was hoping that these teleconverters work with other Sony lenses, but currently the two converters only work with the G Master 72.8 lens. Once I unboxed the lens and noticed they do come in a nice pouch here, has Sony on the pouch. And once you open the lens, I noticed right off that the teleconverter was very light. It only weighs about 6 ounces. It's very small compared to the Canon, which is probably double the size. This is the actual 1.4x teleconverter. Once I took the cap off the lens, I noticed that this piece here protrudes from the teleconverter. This piece here alone is the one main reasons why the teleconverter can't be used with any other lens. On both sides of the lens, you do see the E-mount connectors on both sides. So, but because of this piece here, you can't stack teleconverters like some people do. Some people use several teleconverters on one camera system to give yourself more range. But like I said, because of that piece, it can only be used on the G Master lens. I chose the 1.4x teleconverter. Says it right here. I chose this lens over the 2.0 converter for one reason, because the 1.x teleconverter loses one stop of light, and the 2.0 converter loses two stops of light. So if you put the teleconverter on the 70 to 200 G Master lens, it initially takes the 2.8 wide open to a 4.0 wide open. And if you use the 2.0 teleconverter, it will go from 2.8 to 5.6. So I chose the 1.4 converter because I generally shoot events, sports, and things where low light and faster focus and things like that would take a serious hit with losing 2 stops of light. The 2.0 converter is a great addition for someone who wants to bird watch, landscape, or do things that do not move, and in bright outdoor settings. But with the 1.4x, I thought it would do a whole lot better with the types of things that I do, like fashion shows, sporting events, things like that. The one thing I want you to know about the teleconverter is that although you are adding the teleconverter to the G Master lens, you don't lose any speed of the autofocusing. You don't lose any sharpness of the lens. All that is retained through this teleconverter. The only thing you lose when you attach this teleconverter the 1.4x teleconverter to the 7200G Master is that one stop of light. So if you are in an environment where you need that 2.8 converter, yes, you will see the difference between the way it handles in that low lighter situations. But if you are outside and you're using, you would barely notice a difference between the 2.8 and the 4.0 that the teleconverter will convert it to. As you know, there's already a 7200 previous version of the Sony lens that is an f4 lens, which is an outstanding outstanding lens. But I chose, since I do events that are in lower light and wanted to take advantage of the 2.8, I chose to wait for the G Master lens. But with the teleconverter, you're roughly taking it to a 4.0 as the previous as the previous lens was. But this lens, without a doubt, is a whole lot sharper and faster than the f4.0. Hence the reason why the price is what it is. Yes, this is an expensive lens at roughly $2,500, I think it is now, but it was worth every penny to me. So when you connect the 70-200 already with the A6300, you know you roughly get a 105 to 300 focal length just connecting the 70-200 full frame lens to the A6300, A6000, and the newly A6500 right here. You already get a crop factor of 1.5, which will make it a 105 to 300. But when you connect then connect the teleconverter to the A60,000s, A6300, or the A6500 with the G Master lens, you would then convert your focal length to 147/420. So that's why I choose to use the teleconverter on the A6000 series cameras over using it on the A7R, A7S, and A7 series. Because if you connect the 1.4 converter on the 7200 with the full frame lens, you roughly only improve your focal length from 70 to 98/280. So roughly you go from the 7200 on a full frame lens, you'll go from a 70 to 200 to roughly 98 to 280. But on the A6000 series cameras, you will go to all the way up to a 147/420. So that's why I tend to use it on the A6000 series cameras more than I do on the full frame camera, especially when I'm doing sporting events where I need that extra reach. And of course, you already know with the A6000 series, the auto tracking and the fast buffer system, things like that, are a whole lot better when you're doing sports and action on the A6000 series than on the full frame cameras. I hope this review was very helpful to you guys. I'm going to be attaching some photos to the end of this video so you can see the difference between the focal lengths of some of the just basic shots that I've taken. And then I will do another review on some more sports and other things to give you a better look of how the 7200 with the 1.4 teleconverter works with the A6000 series and with the A7R series as well. So if you like this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe. Leave comments below for to me if you want to know anything else or want me to review anything else for you. Thank you very much, and thank you for bearing with me on this video. Thanks.